Welcome to Royal Secret. In the dazzling world of royal opulence, where protocol is law and every gesture whispers tradition, few moments shimmer with raw emotion quite like a royal coming of age. And this one left Denmark breathless. Princess Isabella of Denmark, the poised, radiant daughter of Queen Mary and King Frederick X, has just turned 18. The moment was more than a birthday, it was a historic rite of passage, watched closely by millions across the globe. But amidst the glamour, tiaras, and palace festivities, it wasn't the sparkling dress or the glittering guest list that stole the headlines. A gift so unexpected, so deeply personal, and so rich in royal symbolism, that it instantly became one of the most talked about royal birthday moments in European history. What did Queen Mary and King Frederick give their daughter? Why did it shock even the inner royal circles? And how does this unexpected gesture reveal the private hearts of Denmark's famously composed monarchs? Stay with us as we uncover the astonishing story behind Princess Isabella's 18th birthday and the secret meaning behind the royal gift that captured a nation's soul. April in Copenhagen brought with it a touch of magic this year. The Danish royal family, known for its cool elegance and modern sensibility, prepared for a royal event the world had long anticipated: Princess Isabella's milestone 18th birthday. Born on April 21, 2007, Princess Isabella Ingrid Margrethe of Denmark has grown up under the watchful gaze of both her family and the Danish public. As the second child and eldest daughter of Crown Prince Frederick and Crown Princess Mary, now King and Queen Isabella represents a generation of royals stepping into adulthood at a time of monumental change for the monarchy. But there was something different about this celebration. Unlike the meticulously orchestrated coming-of-age events for her brother, Prince Christian, who turned 18 just months earlier and is Denmark's future king, Isabella's birthday was shrouded in an unusual veil of intimacy and mystery. The Danish court released only limited details in advance, sparking wild speculation across European tabloids and royal watchers alike. Was this the start of a new era for royal daughters in Denmark? Was Queen Mary planning something radically modern? Or was King Frederick preparing a symbolic gesture only a father could make? As the day arrived, the world found out. And it wasn't ready. The morning of Isabella's birthday began with a soft sunrise over Amalienborg Palace. Flags waved in the gentle breeze, and the press stood poised outside the gates, cameras ready. But inside the palace walls, the mood was quieter, more emotional than ceremonial. At the heart of it all was Queen Mary, once a Tasmanian commoner, now one of Europe's most beloved queens. Beside her, King Frederick, now not just a father, but a monarch balancing the weight of the crown with the weight of fatherhood. And their daughter, Isabella, stood between two worlds: the girl she was, and the woman she would now become. Family, tradition, and transition converged in one moment. And then, the surprise began. What gift does a queen give her daughter on the day she becomes an adult? Instead, Queen Mary and King Frederick presented Isabella with something profoundly human, and utterly unforgettable. They gifted her a private journal, but not just any journal. It was a meticulously bound, leather-covered book filled with handwritten letters, poems, and reflections, penned by both Mary and Frederick, written over 18 years. Each year of Isabella's life had its own entry, dated and signed by her parents. From the moment of her birth to the eve of her 18th birthday. Each page was a time capsule, a memory, a whisper from the past. The entries ranged from joyful celebrations of her first steps to heart-wrenching reflections on challenges she faced growing up in the public eye. They included lullabies Queen Mary sang to her as a toddler, Frederick's dreams for her future, and even moments of parental doubt, honesty, and vulnerability. According to insiders, Queen Mary had begun the tradition while pregnant, recording her emotions and hopes, never telling her daughter. Frederick joined the project after Isabella's birth, adding his own voice in annual letters, always sealed and stored in a hidden family vault. Together, over 18 years, they created a gift unlike any other, a handwritten legacy of love. When news of the gift broke, the internet exploded. Royal watchers called it the most touching royal gesture of the decade. Scandinavian newspapers published excerpts that were cleared for release, including a poetic entry from Frederick on Isabella's 7th birthday that read, "You danced through the palace halls with paper wings and royal dreams. One day, those dreams will be your own kingdom." Social media lit up with praise. particularly from younger viewers who saw it as a powerful reminder that royal life isn't just about privilege but also about personal connection, emotion, and legacy. This is the kind of parenting that transcends status, one Danish influencer wrote. It's beautiful, raw, and deeply real. Royal biographers were equally stunned. It's a revolutionary gesture, said Danish royal expert Lars Johansson. We're so used to seeing the pomp, the jewels, the gowns, the ceremonies. But this was emotional wealth. And it told us more about Queen Mary and King Frederick as people than anything else has. So why did this gift strike such a powerful chord? In royal circles, gifts are often symbolic swords, tiaras, estates. They're wrapped in meaning, yes, but often removed from personal connection. This gift, it wasn't about tradition, it was about truth. Queen Mary, long known for balancing modern motherhood with royal duty, showed the world what it means to raise a daughter in a monarchy where history looms large. Rather than grooming Isabella purely for titles or expectations, she and Frederick gave her a map to her inner self. They gave her permission to feel, to remember, to grow with grace. The journal wasn't a manual. It was a mirror. And for Princess Isabella, it marked the moment when her life as a public figure would now be guided by the private strength of her parents' love. This gift may also signal a shift in how the Danish royal family wants to be seen. Under Queen Margrethe II, the monarchy maintained a careful balance between tradition and quiet evolution. But now, with Frederick and Mary at the helm, the winds seem to be changing. Their choice to raise their children with emotional transparency and spiritual depth is resonating across Europe. It's redefining royalty, not as a symbol of perfection, but of humanity. Princess Isabella is now stepping into adulthood as a modern royal who knows her past not through official biographies or public ceremonies but through the handwritten voices of her parents. That's transformative. That's the kind of monarchy that can survive the 21st century. Later that day, Princess Isabella made her official public appearance, stepping onto the palace balcony to greet the cheering crowd. But there was something different about her. She didn't just wave like a royal. She smiled like someone who had just read the most personal love letter of her life. Wearing a pale blue dress chosen by Queen Mary, the young princess radiated calm, strength, and emotional maturity. Every gesture seemed imbued with quiet confidence as if she carried her parents' words with her in that moment. She later made a brief speech to guests at an intimate royal dinner that evening, thanking her family, her nation, and most movingly, her mother and father. "Thank you," she said, voice steady, "for reminding me that before I was a princess, I was your daughter. And that love is the most precious inheritance of all." As royal archivists and palace aides scrambled to handle the intense public interest surrounding Princess Isabella's 18th birthday journal, an extraordinary decision was made within the walls of Amalienborg. Selected excerpts from Queen Mary's letters would be released to the Danish National Archives, some shared with the public, others held under strict seal until Isabella's eventual coronation, should that day come. It was the first time in modern Danish history that such private royal correspondence had been voluntarily revealed, especially letters between monarchs and their children. But the decision had a purpose. It was Mary's way of showing the people something rare. From the very first page, Queen Mary's words are strikingly human. In one of the earliest entries, written just days after Isabella's birth, Mary penned, "You arrived during a spring storm, wild winds outside, silence inside the hospital. The moment they placed you in my arms, I forgot every crown, every camera, every rule. You weren't a princess. You were mine." It's a side of Queen Mary the public rarely sees, unscripted, raw, full of fierce maternal emotion. But it didn't stop there. In the journal's entry for Isabella's 5th birthday, Mary reflected on the challenges of raising a child in the palace spotlight. "Some days I wish I could give you anonymity. A life of forests and beaches and bicycles without photographers. But then you smile, and I know, you are already stronger than I ever was." Each page seems to carry a dual weight. The joy of watching her daughter grow, and the guilt of not being able to give her a normal life. It's a tension only royal parents can understand, but Mary handles it with poetic grace. But the letter that truly broke hearts came from Isabella's 11th birthday. In it, Queen Mary described a private moment when Isabella came home from school crying, overwhelmed by classmates teasing her about always having bodyguards. "You asked me if you'd ever have a day to just be, Bella. I told you that being Isabella was your superpower, not your curse. But later that night, I cried when you couldn't see. That entry, released with Queen Mary's consent, spread like wildfire across social media. Thousands of Danish mothers wrote their own versions in tribute. The hashtag being Bella trended across Europe, symbolizing the universal struggle between personal identity and public expectation. It was no longer just about royalty. It was about humanity. While Queen Mary's entries were lyrical and emotional, King Frederick's contributions to the journal revealed something even more rare in royalty: vulnerability from a father. One of his earliest entries, dated on Isabella's second birthday, read, "I hope I am the kind of father you remember with laughter, not pressure. I hope you never feel like you have to earn our love, it's already yours." Another letter, written the night of her first solo speech at a youth summit in Greenland, was filled with admiration. "You spoke with fire. Not like a future queen, but like a future leader. I saw your mother in your hands, and my mother in your spine." Frederick's letters revealed a deep sensitivity and almost poetic softness to a man who spent much of his youth struggling under the weight of being heir to the throne. Now a king, he's writing not as a monarch, but as a man still healing through fatherhood. Much of the buzz surrounding the journal wasn't just about its content but also its design. The cover, made from hand-stitched Tasmanian leather and Danish royal red silk, featured a discreet embossed crest. But what truly intrigued royal historians was the interior lining. It contained tiny, hidden floral prints representing every major place Isabella had visited with her family over the years. Australia, Greenland, France, Japan, Norway. Each flower symbolized a memory, a trip, a moment, a cultural connection. Queen Mary worked secretly with artisans for over a year to perfect the design, including Isabella's favorite childhood flower, the Tasmanian blue gum blossom, pressed between the final pages. Inside the back cover, a pressed clover Queen Mary had carried during her wedding day, sealed under wax. This wasn't just a journal. It was a mosaic of their family's life woven in ink, fabric, and love. As the gift made headlines across the world, it began stirring quiet waves of admiration and, some say, envy across other royal households. In Sweden, Crown Princess Victoria reportedly showed the journal to her daughter, Princess Estelle, during a private mother-daughter tea. In Spain, Queen Letizia praised the gesture as the most meaningful gift a modern monarch can give. And in the UK, royal aides hinted that Kate Middleton had requested a copy of the Danish National Archives' public excerpts, calling the project a groundbreaking example of emotional legacy. It also reopened questions about how royals raise children in an age where cameras never sleep and the internet never forgets. That evening, after public ceremonies concluded, a private birthday dinner was held at Fredensborg Palace. Only the closest family members attended, along with a handful of friends from Isabella's school and youth charities. No press, no flashing lights, just family. After dessert, a chocolate tart made from Queen Mary's personal recipe, King Frederick stood up and raised his glass. His words, later shared by a guest, echoed through Danish media. "You were born a princess, but tonight, you become a woman. This journal is yours now, but remember, it's written in love, not expectation. You are not the past. You are the future." Isabella's eyes reportedly welled with tears. She stood, hugged her father tightly, and whispered, "Then let me make you proud." With this gift, a clear message was sent not just to Isabella, but to Denmark. The monarchy is preparing for a future where emotional intelligence, transparency, and personal authenticity matter more than strict formality. And Isabella, armed with the deepest gift a parent can give, is poised to be the torchbearer of that new vision. No one knows if Isabella will ever become queen. Her brother, Christian, is the direct heir. But what's now clear is that she will be a leader in some form, perhaps not in title, but in spirit. Already active in youth engagement, climate causes, and female empowerment programs, Isabella is expected to take on more responsibilities in the coming year. With the journal as her compass, she enters adulthood not just as a royal, but as a daughter shaped by love. The parallels between Queen Mary's parenting and Queen Margrethe's legacy, the unseen pages that may never be released, and what insiders are saying they contain. The secret letter reportedly written, for Isabella's darkest day. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe.